What is the most bizarre thing you've caught yourself doing after your brain's autopilot misfired? 1. I picked up my toothbrush to brush my teeth, but I also had the urge to pee, so I obviously tossed my toothbrush into the toilet. 2. I took the metro home, then realized I drove to work. That was a long night. 3. Cup of coffee in my left hand, go to my room, take a sip of my phone, and throw coffee on the bed. 4. I sat there at an intersection in suburban Palo Alto at 11 p.m., patiently waiting for the stop sign to change. 5. Rubbed aftershave in my hair and put gel on my face. The worst part was that after I put the aftershave in my hair, I laughed at myself and thought, what was all that about? Then I added the hair gel to my skin. 6. I delivered pizza for Domino's and caught myself multiple times at the customer's door saying, "Hi, thanks for calling Domino's. How can I help you?" 7. Was jogging late at night. A guy reached out his hand in front of me as I passed. I high-fived him. Turns out he was hailing a taxi. 8. I was on the TSA security line for a flight and did the normal routine of taking stuff out of my pockets and putting them in my laptop bag. Then I took the belt off, unbuttoned, and started unzipping. And the TSA guy was like, I'm gonna stop you right there. That's not really necessary. Luckily, not that many people fly at 4:30 a.m. TSA story 2. Yup, been there. Except I always take my shirt off after my shoes, so I did that instead. I started to unbutton my shirt, and the TSA lady was like, "Slow down, sir. We just met." I didn't know they came with a sense of humor. 9. Drove 20 minutes to my old house after I moved. Was just zoning out. 10. I sat at a green light for a full cycle, waiting for it to change to red once. Cars were backed up for a block or two. 11th. As a teenager, I worked at McDonald's. My McDonald's was 24 hours, and during the summer, I worked the overnight shift. My sleep schedule would get all messed up. My parents woke me up for dinner one evening. I zombie walked to the table and sat down. My dad asked me to say grace. I bowed my head and said, "Thank you for choosing McDonald's. May I take your order?" 12. After grabbing my toothbrush, I'll occasionally grab the deodorant instead of the toothpaste and stare at it for a minute while my brain tries to figure out how one is supposed to go on the other. 13. I meant to put a brand new roll of toilet paper on the roll and instead just plopped it in the toilet. 14. I went to the backyard to bring the dog into the house. Autopilot moved my feet 10 or so steps out the door, telling the dog to come in. My brain then caught up and remembered the dog was in bed, and I was indeed approaching a black bear that was eating watermelon rinds from the trash can. 15. Tried to get into a random person's car because I thought it was my friend's. The person whose car I was attempting to break into was very terrified. 16. Instead of deodorant, I grabbed a flashlight and shone it over my toothbrush, waiting for something to happen. 17. Walked into the bathroom at work to pee, and instead of unzipping my fly, I unbuttoned my shirt, took it off, then took off my white undershirt as well. Then I realized I was standing shirtless at a urinal. 18. Jumped out of bed frantically, put my clothes on, brushed all the stuff on my floor under my bed, paused and realized it's 3 a.m., I don't have school, and I'm 23. 19. My sister had a brain fart and left the water running in the kitchen. I went to turn it off and flipped the kitchen light switch repeatedly, then started cussing when the switch wouldn't cut the water off. Then I got my toolbox and started taking the faceplate off the light switch so I could see why it wasn't cutting the water off. At that point, my other sister, who witnessed all of this, kindly pointed out that I had lost my ever-loving mind and cut the water off herself. 20. I was making ramen noodles and a pitcher of Crystal Light at the same time. Berry-flavored ramen is not good.